So people often say to me, Nick, I hate HOAs. I mean, I can't stand them. And quite honestly, I agree 1,000%. And today we're going to take a look at a video that shows exactly why people hate HOAs so much. We're actually going to start a 3-part series today, and this is part 1, and we're going to take a look at problematic HOAs around the nation, and you're going to find out exactly why, as a realtor to a lot of buyers out there, I always recommend not to join an HOA unless it's right for you. Some people, they want that control, they want everything to look the same. Most of us don't. Let's find out right now exactly why so many people hate HOAs in West Michigan and all across the nation.
For years now, the I-Team has investigated a lot of complaints involving HOAs and how they use their power, but we've never seen anything quite like this.
Yeah, so the woman in the mugshot right here wanted us to tell you her story, and she wanted us to show you her mugshot. She was arrested and spent a week in jail for what started out as an HOA complaint.
Wait a minute, what are we talking about right now? She's literally spending a week in jail over her HOA issues. Again, I know there's a million nightmare stories, and I'm just curious, have you ever had a nightmare story with an HOA? If so, go ahead and drop it in the comments because I want to hear from you as well.
Over her lawn.
I feel humiliated about the whole thing, you know, like I got my head down because this is so embarrassing.
Well, tonight, investigative reporter Adam Walser there revealing how she wound up behind bars and caught up with the HOA's attorney to ask about his involvement.
Oh, wait, attorneys are involved? Probably half the problem right there. Just out of curiosity, have you guys ever been involved in something where attorney was not a huge pain in the butt? HOAs are honestly no different. They're usually the root of the problem is some attorney on a power trip. Looks like we might have that here. Let's look and find out.
This is what they were showing in court, like pictures of the brown grass.
Yep.
The grass isn't always green in Irina Green's yard, thanks to a big tree that you can see in this drone video, and a drought that led the county to impose watering restrictions last year didn't help.
Looks like you got some pieces of sod here.
Green says her yard is far from the worst in Riverview's Creekview subdivision.
If you drive around my
Okay, so if you're living in Florida, right now you should be hating Creekview subdivision. If you're living there, you should consider moving. Who wants to be controlled by a group of people who allegedly have no life and want to go through and torture people in their neighborhood? I know I wouldn't. And maybe we have some of the same type of HOAs here in West Michigan too.
neighborhood, you'll see there's plenty of yards that are not up to par.
But so far, she's the only homeowner to actually go to jail for failing to keep her yard up to her HOA standards. It all started with notices from the HOA's management company.
And it went from the grass being brown to, you know, there's a dent in my garage.
Okay, so wait a minute. We're looking at that yard, and that, according to some arbitrary person, is a complete disaster. Now listen, I'm going to say my grass isn't always perfect, but thank goodness there's no HOA to come after me for it.
Garage.
Dents too small to see from the road.
That was a part of my court case.
Green was also cited for having a dirty mailbox covered in mildew due to shade and moisture from that same tree.
I would assume.
Okay, so again, why do people hate HOAs? She's literally being attacked for a dirty mailbox. Let's just think about that for a minute. A dirty mailbox. There should be some repercussions on these HOA people, quite honestly.
You could probably clean that whole mailbox in a few minutes, right?
Yeah.
And for having a cargo van similar to other ones we observed in the neighborhood. The HOA filed a lawsuit against...
Is that a cargo van? Because to me, it's got windows. It kind of seems like a passenger van. And I don't know how many of you guys might have local churches, but that looks a lot like the church vans that I've seen here around town. Parking the church van in your driveway could end up with you going to jail from your HOA. I guess when you compound it with a tiny dent in the door and a lawn they're not happy with and a teeny bit of dirty mailbox, No, you'd still have to be a jerk to go through this if you're on that HOA.
Green in Hillsborough County Court, demanding she correct the violations. She represented herself, preparing handwritten explanations that the HOA and judge rejected. Green appeared at a hearing last July in which the judge gave her an ultimatum.
My grass had to be brung up to par. He said, you can get seeds, you can do something, but you got 30 days to get it corrected.
So just out of curiosity, how would you correct that in 30 days with seeds? We know the germination of time for that grass to grow to the same level as the rest of it is well over 30 days. That judge should be ashamed of themselves just the same. This is the things that people literally hate about overbearing human beings in their neighborhood. This is a prime example. Why do they all seem to want to join and run the HOA? I don't know, but it's definitely true.
I said, fine. You know, he said, and if it's not done in 30 days, you're going to go to jail.
Irene says she spent the next month correcting the violations.
I sold my van to comply. My mailbox was clean. I bought seeds and watered my grass.
But she missed her next court date.
I was supposed to receive documentation. Nothing was sent to my home. And I reached out to the courthouse several times to try to find out when was my court date.
The judge signed an order holding Green in contempt of court and issued a warrant for her arrest at the HOA attorney's request.
It is pretty extreme. It certainly is, yeah.
We asked Stetson Law Professor Paul.
This, to me, seems like another example in our society of government and official overreach. In this case, it's clearly the judge that issued that. But at what point does our government start to realize they don't control every aspect of our lives, nor should they be able to? This to me is disgusting. From the HOA to the judge, the whole entire thing absolutely triggers me, to quote the young people out there today.
Paul Boudreau what he makes of this case.
I think it's pretty rare in a civil case for someone to have a contempt order.
Green was pulled over by a sheriff's deputy in late May after picking up her 15-year-old daughter from cheerleading practice.
When I got out, he said, Ms. Green, do you know that you have a warrant for your arrest?
She was taken to the Orient Road Jail.
If they got you handcuffed behind your back?
Yes, I'm treated like a criminal.
At the jail, she got more bad news.
There was no bond, so I couldn't even go home to my family. I sat in there for 7 days, 7 days in the jailhouse, you know, like a criminal.
To be incarcerated without bond is certainly an extreme measure and is pretty rare.
Now there's a mugshot of you right now.
Whether it's rare or not, it should absolutely be intolerable. And I'll just talk about my own situation for a quick minute. Years ago, when my very first house, which I turned into a rental, we got into the bad market of 2007, 2008, and I ended up losing that house to foreclosure. And I ended up getting a warrant for my arrest because the city of, well, the township of Redford in Wayne County told me that I had to change the driveway approach. I had to replace it. This was $3,000 to $4,000 at a time where I simply didn't have that money and also no longer had the home. The home was no longer mine, and yet they issued a warrant for my arrest that I didn't find out until I was pulled over for hauling a trailer that they wanted in the right-hand lane in Lansing. And that's when the officer told me. And I will say, did I go to jail? No, only because I was outside of the 100-mile radius of the jurisdiction where my warrant was. Otherwise, I would have faced the same result. They would have taken me and I would have had to stay in jail until I ended up posting a bond. I honestly think putting people in jail over not replacing a driveway approach or they have a home they don't even own at the time, or over a dented garage door and a mailbox is completely ridiculous. These laws should probably be changed, in my opinion. What do you think? Is that fair? Was I ridiculous not to have replaced the driveway? Or have we gotten to a point where government has just began overreaching into our lives in one of the most ridiculous manners? In my opinion, it's the latter, not the former.
How did that make you feel, just to be put in those orange clothes?
It makes me feel horrible. Like I work hard, you know, I work hard to buy this home, you know, for me and my kids in a better neighborhood and environment, and to be taken to jail and to be treated like that for brown grass at my own home, you know, like it's horrible.
David Lair is a Palm Beach attorney who represents homeowners in cases against HOAs. His law partner wrote the best-selling book, Bad HOA.
You have an HOA who was quick to go after her and to use the full force that they are entitled to.
Have you ever heard of it getting to this point where someone actually goes to jail?
I have not seen that. To be clear, the association does not have the power to put you in jail. Certain other events intervened. Certainly, the judge had the right to do it,
But clearly the judge's ego was out of control. And while most of the time you're absolutely not going to go to jail for these violations, what's really happening? They're siphoning money from you on a regular basis. It's punitive, not curative. They're interested in charging you as much as possible to teach you a lesson in these situations. Again, this is why I recommend to so many of my buyers not to buy in any HOA. Is this an extreme example? Yeah, it is. But does that change the fact that this is complete crap? No, it doesn't. And have we heard other people who have run into different fines that have no bearing on the tiny things wrong with the house? Yeah, we have, over and over again. And that's not okay.
I think perhaps there could be more lenient remedies.
Green's sister-in-law, who is a paralegal, filed a petition 6 days after she was incarcerated, requesting an emergency hearing.
And I went to court, and I had to be shackled from my hands to my feet.
And you're there in civil county court, right?
Yeah.
You're the only one wearing orange, right?
Yeah, the only one.
Let's take a moment to also recognize this is not a woman with a criminal history. She has not gone up on gun charges. She has not committed a violent crime. Yet she's shackled and wearing plastic shoes to court. Come on.
Relatives sent pictures of the yard and other evidence to the judge, a different one than the judge who issued the arrest warrant. Green says an attorney for the HOA opposed her release.
He says, well, it hasn't been resodded. The whole yard needs to be resodded. And she's like, not from those pictures that I see. She's like, no, I want her released immediately.
So you were going to sit in jail while they resodded your yard?
Yeah, he wanted me to continue to sit in jail and not come home to my family.
Green was released on the judge's order.
I'm Adam. I'm with ABC Action News.
We caught up with Creekview HOA attorney Francis Frischia, the one who asked for the arrest warrant, outside his office.
Do you think that was kind of harsh to have her spend 7 days, I believe, in jail?
I have no comment, but
I wouldn't have comment either if I was that man. I would feel absolutely pathetic. I would be ashamed. I would know that my family's ashamed of me for trying to put a young mother in jail over a brown lawn and a moldy mailbox. That to me is unacceptable, and this man is a huge part of the problem.
Comment, but I'll email you on that.
He emailed us a statement.
I'll email you on that because I'm too much of a coward to stand up to my actions and explain them in front of people. Yeah, great.
Saying in part, quote, Ms. Green received notices of violations. She disregarded them. Ms. Green failed to show up in court on August 19th. Her failure to abide by the court's instruction led to the arrest warrant being issued. We called and left a business card at the Creekview HOA president's home, and we called and emailed the HOA's property management company, which issued the violations.
Oh, hey, look at that. There's their website. Maybe you want to reach out and tell them what you think of how they treat the people that live in their HOA. I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, it's not great. As a matter of fact, it's the exact reason people hate HOAs out there.
We didn't hear back from either. Legal experts say there are lessons to be learned.
Sometimes they act in a petty manner, but if they decide that you need to do something, you need to follow the rules. And when a judge tells you to do something, you have to do it.
I think that they have way too much power. I mean, I never heard of anything like this in my life.
I'm My-Team investigator Adam Walser with photojournalist Matt McGlashan, taking action for you.
Wild story there. The HOA board recently hired a new property management company to enforce its regulations, which started last month. Now, our Adam Walsler has been investigating homeowners associations and everything that comes with them all over the Tampa Bay area for several years now. We want to know, are you in a battle with your HOA?
So what do you guys think of this story? Was this realistic? Was this ridiculous? Me personally, I find it ridiculous. I can't stand it. If you also believe that things like this are overreach, if you think that things like this are unfair to the homeowner, like and subscribe so I can start to get more word out there on the next couple episodes of crazy HOAs and how they can affect people. I can tell you this much, I would never personally want to live in an HOA, and things like this are exactly the reason why. And if you yourself are thinking about making a move to West Michigan and you don't want to be involved with overreaching crazy HOAs, reach out to me. My contact information is in the description below. And I would love to help you find the right home for you and your family and avoid crazy overreaching HOAs while in the process. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this, and I will see you on the next video.